Hey guys, so I'm not feeling all too well, my throat's doing its thing again, so hence the tea. So I have not done a book challenge video in a long time. I haven't done the book challenge in quite a while. That is because I have just not read enough this year, as you might have noticed by my favorites, which have really been lacking books. But I did it again, and so now I'm gonna do the video for it. So the thing that I had to do was a book at the bottom of your to read pile. I chose The Little Women. Now, I don't know if it counts because I wanted to read it as a young child and I never did. And so I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. Then in I think October 2016, so nearly a year ago now, I read it. Well, I thought I read it, but what I've only recently discovered is I only actually owned part 1. So that. And so when I finished reading it, I was like, great, I finished reading it. But then I somehow found out, I can't remember how, that there was an actual part 2. So I borrowed this out of the library and I read it within a week. And now I'm done with it and I can finally share my thoughts on it. Firstly, I was spoiled it by my mum on 2 occasions and she decided to spoil the 2 main things that happen. So I'm going to spoil it now. It's going to go onto a grayish screen. Once that grayish screen is over, that means the spoiler is over. So my mum spoiled for me the fact that Beth dies, and she spoiled this for me a long time ago, like when I was still in part 1 the first time, so back a year ago she spoiled it for me and I was not happy. But that was kind of okay because after that I had watched the Friends episode anyway, where the whole episode with Rachel and Joey where they read each other's favorite books, and so I probably would have found out anyway. Not that that's a good thing, and I was really upset that I knew that because when I actually got to that part in the book I felt no emotion except anger really whatsoever because I was just upset that it had been spoiled. And then the second thing, which was so unforgivable, my mum, she took the book out of my hands, she flicked through where I was at so she could see at what point where I was, and this was when Amy and Joe, I think it is, went to the beachside place, and that's where they find out, no, not Amy and Joe, but Beth and Joe, and that's where Joe finds out Beth is sick. And she could see I was up to that, and she could see that that was what was happening. And she goes, you know what I still find the most disappointing thing about the book? That Amy marries Laurie. And I wanted to kill her. I was like, how dare you? I was so upset, and it was just like, I can't even begin to explain how upset I was that that was spoiled for me. She knew where I was up to. She knew I had not yet gotten to that part, like, And so when it got to the whole bit of like they were slowly becoming more and more friendly, I was like, well, I know where this is heading. And it almost felt like there was no point in reading it. Now, of course, I finished it because I only had 150 pages left, and I'm like, I'm gonna read it. But it meant I felt no emotion towards those last 150 pages, which is also where Beth dies, because I just knew everything and there was like no point in me reading it, and I was really upset about that. But that is it. I'll read the blurb for you now, and yeah, otherwise I really liked the book. It was a really good book other than the fact that it was spoiled, and so I didn't really feel any emotion towards the last 150 pages because I knew what was going to happen. That was just repeated for anyone who missed the spoiler bit.
Growing up in New England during the Civil War, the March sisters share everything, their joys and troubles, their loves and secrets. But the 4 girls couldn't be more different. Meg, the oldest, is the sensible writer. Jo is funny and mischievous. Beth is the shy, dreamy one. And Amy is pretty and artistic. From dances to despairs, through weddings and funerals, the March girls stand as sisters. This is one family you will never forget.
And yeah, that's it. Goodbye. My throat has like gone downhill since the beginning of this video and it doesn't even sound like me anymore.